Hey, this is Scott Photography Bonsai. In this video, I'm going to go over this Promaster LED120SS light. Very compact. The battery is built inside. It's rated as 4,200 milliamp hours, so definitely quite a bit of power in this light. 120 LEDs, of course. They're pretty large. They put a unique look to the shadows, which we'll get to. Features-wise, it does have, of course, a power switch, USB charging, and a dial for adjusting the intensity of the light. It is rated as 1,150 lumens at 0.5 meters, which is about 1.64 feet. So definitely very bright. It does come with a few accessories. It has a charger with a USB cable, which isn't always included with these type of devices. It's rated at 1 amp, which is pretty decent. They say it'll take about 4 to 6 hours to charge the light from full depletion. But in my experience, it doesn't take too long to charge this thing. It also includes 2 panels for diffusion or to change the color temperature. You've got a tungsten adjustment, so if you are in a situation like that, you can at least get close, around 3,200 Kelvin with this panel. The diffusion itself, I don't notice a huge difference with this. I don't know if it's technically diffusion or it's just supposed to make the LEDs a little bit less intense, especially when you look at the shadows. As I had mentioned before, they have a strong pixelated look to them because of the strong light sources that are rectangular. But these panels are pretty nice. You can easily attach them to the device. There's a notch on each side and they stay on tight. No issues with those. The light also comes with an adapter for a cold shoe, hot shoe mount, and also a tripod socket on the bottom. The light itself has the tripod socket. You just attach it. There's a little piece of plastic so that it doesn't shift once attached. You can see once it's attached, you're not going to get that side-to-side rotation, but you do get adjustment up and down. And then as I mentioned, you've got the cold shoe mount and an additional tripod mount. The light itself is rated as 5,800 Kelvin, so it's definitely a very blue light. Of course, you can put gels on this. In my experience so far, this doesn't get hot enough to melt a gel. You can still hold it with your hands while it's going full blast. I did do a little test with having the device at full power connected to the USB adapter. I actually used a separate one that had 2.4 amps just in case. I don't think it was charging the battery at the same time, or maybe it was charging the battery but pulling power from the battery. I'm not really sure, but the light stayed on for an hour and there was no difference in the measurement of how much power is left in the battery. My uses so far have been pretty much just the hands-on videos. I think the most intense session was 3 cameras and an interview. The battery, I think it was down to the last notch or 2 notches, I'm not totally sure, but it stayed on, it worked, and had no issues with the amount of power it can hold. I was using it mostly at low intensity, but when I did the interview, I think we bumped it up to maximum and it still worked fine. I could see this light being used for macro work, again on the camera or off camera, lighting the scene very nicely with something like this. There are some drawbacks to a light like this. It is compact, but that means the battery's inside. You can never replace it unless you want to break it open and change whatever proprietary batteries in there. The LED pattern on the light, they're very large, rectangular, so in some situations I would like it to be lower power, but I just can't manage it unless I put something on there to basically discard some of the light that it's outputting. So let's talk about the positives of this light. Nice build quality, it's very compact, no battery to dangle out while you're using it. Has been consistent, I haven't had any issues so far while using it. I've used it for extended periods of time, different settings, mostly those hands-on videos and the interview and such, but has been consistent. So that's a very key feature of a light, is if it works when you need it. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks again.